Welcome back to Jersey Matters. The voters in New Jersey spoke last November and overwhelmingly passed a constitutional amendment for legalized recreational marijuana use in the state. But after weeks of legislative wrestling, the governor finally passed the legalized pot bill into law this week. But many are not happy at all with the final product. In fact, they think it's dangerous, including New Jersey Assembly Minority Leader Jon Bramnick.
Sir, thank you for joining us. You're always great with your time. I appreciate it. I know you're not happy with the marijuana legislation, the legalized recreational marijuana in its final form. Why not?
Well, it's hard to believe that a bill would be passed by the legislature that says the following: a police officer finds an underage person, 16, 15, with marijuana, and that police officer cannot contact the parents. That's number one. That means that the parent is actually taken out of the equation. Second, if a police officer pulls over a car, smells marijuana, that is not probable cause to take any other action, meaning that even if they see smoke coming out of the car, which they know is marijuana, unless they see the marijuana itself, they're prohibited from taking any other action. Here's the clincher. If they do call the parent or they do take any action, the result is the police officer is liable both criminally and civilly.
How did we get here? Because as I remember in the original legislation, they were very careful because there's some science that says that marijuana can hurt children, anyone under 18. They were pretty careful about excluding children to a certain point from legalized recreational marijuana. How did we get to this point?
The reason we had this kind of reaction, we asked this on the floor of the legislature. The Democratic majority believed that over the many years of police activity, they believe that the police used law enforcement in our urban communities, the Black and brown communities. This was, and I see this in government all the time, the pendulum swings, but it swings so hard, it no longer has any common sense to it. But this is a reaction to what is believed to be an overreaction by police in Black and brown communities with young people who had marijuana. That was the rationale given. The problem is, let's assume that there's been that sort of activity, and we know there's been some. The question becomes, how do you repair that? Do you repair it by not telling the parents? Do you repair it by prosecuting police officers for things that seem to be logical? That's my concern.
I know you just watched the budget address. We're recording this on a Tuesday, and you just finished. What was your reaction?
The reaction is the governor is spending $10 billion more than he spent when he first became governor. To give you any idea, that's a 30% increase. It is almost incredible that the government can spend that much more money on the back of taxpayers. New programs, new spending. Now, what's interesting is I'm proposing we should have a governor election every year, because this year, the governor, Murphy, didn't propose any new taxes. So what we need is a gubernatorial election every year. We'd never have any new taxes. You would have a lot of new borrowing.
What is he spending the money on? Is there anything specifically you don't?
Well, there's so many programs. I mean, look, the bottom line is when you look at the program individually, they look pretty good, right? The question becomes, I'm not sure that's what the average taxpayer in New Jersey needs. Many new programs, an increase in spending in programs, because I don't think government is what solves problems. They can't solve every problem. And in New Jersey, they spend billions of dollars trying to solve problems while people are exiting the state.
So you have already accused the governor of being political by not raising taxes in an election year.
Of course.
Is increased spending politically motivated as well?
Of course. It's a nature of politics. So bottom line is, he is a big spender, but he deeply believes in it. And I believe that people saw nothing in this speech that would convince them to retire in New Jersey.
As I said, the budget address just ended. You've given us some time, and I know you have some other things to do. I appreciate it as always.
Thank you, Larry. Good to be with you.
New Jersey Assembly Minority Leader Jon Bramnick. Still to come on Jersey Matters.
3 day laborers say a freehold dentist owes them over $1,500 in unpaid wages. Hear both sides of that story next.